prices are going to get more expensive in one county. I'm Raquel Regalado with the story coming up.
I'm Marcus Esposa in downtown Fresno, where people are rallying for rent control. I'll have more on that story coming up soon.
Also tonight, Jerry Springer, an icon on TV, in politics, and more, has died. We'll have those stories and more next in Prime Time.
New, local, unique. MyTV 53 News at 8 starts right now.
Good evening. Welcome to the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. I'm Austin Reed. Thank you for joining us. It is Thursday, April the 27th. Our big story tonight is in downtown Fresno, where locals rallied, protesting skyrocket rent today. Reporter Marcus Esparza was on the scene earlier. He joins us now from the newsroom with more in our big story. Marcus.
Yes, Austin, ralliers were inside of downtown City Hall earlier today. Eventually making their way outside, here's what some of them had to say. And today we have
Carla Martinez.
Okay, so what's going on today out here, Carla?
Yeah, so we have folks out here today who are tenants, residents of Fresno, asking the city council to pass rent control. Just letting folks know that they're not alone, that their story is not, they don't have to go through this alone. Now we are urging the city council to put it on the agenda to push forward an ordinance that protects tenants from illegal rent increases, from high rent increases, and from illegal evictions.
It gets better, ordered another round. It's about to go.
We can get really wrapped up in the nitnoid details of it, but at the end of the day, it's not details of legislation you're dealing with. It's people living in homes or people living outside. Being veterans, they go out and they put their life on the line. They've given that sacrifice of themselves, a blank check, to their community, to their country, and the fact that we're not willing to return that back to them says that we've got some inherent issues we need to deal with.
I also had the pleasure to speak with this gentleman.
We're asking City Hall for rent control. I represent the veterans, yes, in the Central Valley. Here in Fresno, we probably have about 2,000, 3,000, and that's a high number to be on the streets from Vietnam veterans and under. I'd rather for them to have a bed than no bed.
And here's some footage coming in exclusively from Air 53. I'm Marcus Esposa with MyTV 53 News at 8.
Okay, Marcus, thank you very much. Earlier in the morning inside City Hall in downtown Fresno, council members and the public recognized April as Fair Housing Month.
Understanding it's flawed, we have a housing crisis.
City Attorney, before we go to a vote, can you remind us what we're voting on?
Projects that have a 100% affordable housing component for which the city is contributing funds from state or federal allocations to fulfill required health and safety related conditions of approval shall be exempt upon the adoption of a finding by the council that the city contribution would benefit the public health, safety, and welfare.
Council members also discussed the upcoming Peace Officer Week coming to the city of Fresno in May.
And so we're doing this resolution, this proclamation saying, thank you for all that you do, and we want to recognize all of our officers who every day serve us. Our council is here, our mayor is here, our police chief is here. Mayor, a few words.
Thank you, council member, and thank you for bringing forth this incredible honor for the folks that are with us, as well as all the police officers. After spending 40 years in law enforcement, I can say firsthand that I believe it's the most complex, challenging, scrutinized, dangerous job in America today.
All right, let's talk about some other stories, and we turn to a developing story just a few blocks away from City Hall. One Fresno officer had to be rushed to the hospital this morning. Officials say the officer had part of his ear torn off. MyTV 53 was at the scene shortly after this whole thing went down. It took place during an arrest this morning in the case of a suspect who allegedly burglarized a downtown Fresno bank. Tonight, there is damage to this city bank on Kern and M Streets. Shortly after 6 this morning, one officer from an earlier shift saw broken windows and a perimeter was established. As other officers responded on scene, police say the suspect ran into an alley, so a standoff ensued. The officer hurt chased the suspect and tackled him. During this, other officers noticed he was bleeding near his head, and Fresno PD says part of his right ear was even detached. The suspect was arrested, but he apparently has been arrested for a number of other crimes. On Tuesday of this week at 6:15 in the evening, Central Policing District officers were dispatched to the 2000 block of East Sussex Way for a report of a shooting victim at the location. When officers arrived, they found 16-year-old Jodian Brown suffering from a single gunshot wound to the chest. Brown was transported to CRMC where he later died. While on scene, officers learned a second shooting victim had been dropped off at CRMC by a vehicle. The second victim was a 14-year-old male juvenile. The second victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his leg and groin area. He received medical treatment for his injuries and is currently listed as in stable condition. Now, through the investigation, detectives determined a verbal disturbance occurred at the location involving several juveniles. Moments after the disturbance, the shooting occurred. Detectives are attempting to locate video surveillance and identify additional witnesses regarding this shooting. So if you know anything, contact the Fresno Police Department. Heading to Visalia now, just before 10 o'clock this morning, firefighters were called to an apartment complex on fire in the 200 block of Northeast 2nd Street. Dispatch told firefighters there were reports of people trapped on the second floor. When this information was dispatched, an additional fire unit began responding to the scene. When crews arrived, they found a split-level apartment building with smoke coming out of the back of the complex. The people on the second floor did manage to escape, but crews were told there was a woman trapped in an apartment on the first floor. Visalia PD officers arrived and helped fire personnel break down the door to the woman's apartment. Firefighters made their way into the apartment and eventually they were able to put out the fire. They found the woman and were able to rescue her. American Ambulance of Visalia was on scene and took the woman to a local hospital. Fire crews checked the remaining apartments and completed the extinguishment of this blaze. And the blaze did cause major damage to one apartment and smoke damage to another apartment. The cause of the fire is still under investigation tonight. New tonight, we turn to our big story in Kern County first at 8. For our viewers watching us on KNXT 53, get ready to pay more if you need an ambulance in parts of Kern County soon. New tonight, reporter Raquel Regalado joins us from the News Center with more on this story. Raquel.
At the request of the county's two ambulance service providers, Howe Ambulance and Liberty Ambulance, rates for an ambulance pickup were approved by the Board of Supervisors at its 9 a.m. Tuesday session. The two companies cover the county's emergency medical system, which is broken into 9 geographical areas, each with a contract with one of the two companies.
Now we'll begin considering the consent agenda. Agendas are located in the back of the chambers from anyone wishing to follow along. All items listed with the CA or C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff.
Exactly how much one pays depends on their insurance, what kind of service they need, and where they live. Howe Ambulance, which covers most of Kern County, increases baseline rates for a basic life support operated by a paramedic instead of an EMT by $497 to $2,912 and advanced life support by $561 to $3,285. Similar increases in costs were made by the standby services and critical care transport. Various services provided while the patient is in the ambulance have varying costs. The increase was calculated through a cost of living adjustment, one of the two ways a contracted company can request a new rate. The other requires an in-depth review, often conducted by a third party, that establishes a new baseline by which annual adjustments can be shaped. Both companies underwent a price review in 2021, the last time there was a change in price. Reporting in the news center, I'm Raquel Regalado with MyTV 53 News at 8.
Okay, Raquel, thank you. Also in Kern County and new tonight from the Bakersfield Police Department, officials want to invite you to their community collaborative event against fentanyl with Bakersfield Recovery Services. This is happening this Saturday, April the 29th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fox Theater. Turning to our severe weather now, get ready for a massive warm-up and flooding concerns as we are getting closer to the weekend. Earlier today, I spoke with the National Weather Service office in Hanford about this. Here's what this meteorologist had to say.
Yes, right now we are looking at an area of high pressure that's building off the Pacific coast, and what it's going to do for Central California is give us temperatures getting up into the mid to almost upper 90s. Right now it looks like for Friday afternoon, Fresno will see a high of 96, and by Saturday afternoon, as the high pressure is pretty much situated over the west coast, Fresno could reach a temperature of 97 degrees. And it looks like the high pressure kind of moves out of the area over, I guess, the end of the weekend, Sunday, Monday. So it looks like right now temperatures will see a slight drop on Sunday as Fresno only gets up to 89 degrees. And then as the kind of the cold air that pushes the high pressure out of our area moves more into the west coast, it looks like by Monday, Fresno will get up to, will only reach 75 degrees. We'll lose that kind of heat to, increase the snow melt. So it looks like by the time we get to Sunday morning, the river stage in Merced, on the Merced in Yosemite will drop down to about 10 feet, and then dropping down to maybe about 9 feet or 8 feet as we get into Monday, when we basically seriously lose the warm temperatures.
And this all comes as the sheriff in Merced County is closing rivers.
We're continuing to monitor the rivers and streams here in this county. What I'd like you to remember is stay out. Do at all possible causes. We are posting areas, but this is to inform you that if you get caught, you can be cited. Now, we don't want to cite anybody for trying to do some summertime fun in the waterways. But what I'd like you to do is, if a deputy or somebody asks you to get out, please do so. If you don't do so, you're going to be subject to a citation or arrest, and we don't want that to happen. It's dangerous, it's cold, it's a horrible situation, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you go underwater and in about 6 inches, you can't be seen. So stay out of the water.
MyTV 53 News at 8 is just getting started. Coming up, Jerry Springer, the king of daytime TV, and someone who you still actually see on the air right here on 53 has died. Take a look back at his life. Plus, we'll have your full weather forecast. Get ready for a big warm-up. If you thought today was hot, think again. New, local, unique. This is MyTV 53 News at 8. We'll be right back.
This is MyTV 53 News. New, local, unique with Austin Reed. You're watching MyTV 53 News at 8.
We appreciate you staying with us on this 27th of April. The TV world is mourning a legend tonight. Jerry Springer, the iconic host who changed the talk show industry with his blockbuster daytime series in the 90s, has passed away. He was 79 years old. New tonight, Access Hollywood's Rachel Dow takes a look back at his life.
The TV world is mourning a legend. Jerry Springer, the iconic host who changed the talk show industry with his blockbuster daytime series in the 90s, has passed away. He was 79 years old. Access Hollywood confirmed Springer's death on Thursday morning. According to his family, he died peacefully at his Chicago area home, surrounded by loved ones after a, quote, brief illness. Family spokesperson and lifelong friend Gene Galvin shared a statement with Access about Springer's loss and legacy, saying, quote, Jerry's ability to connect with people was at the heart of his success in everything he tried, whether that was politics, broadcasting, or just joking with people on the street who wanted a photo or a word. He's irreplaceable and his loss hurts immensely, but memories of his intellect, heart, and humor will live on. Springer is survived by his daughter, Katie Springer, whom he shared with wife Mickey Belton. The Jerry Springer Show ran for 28 seasons from 1991 to 2018 and is often cited as having revolutionized the genre. He went on to headline the reality courtroom series Judge Jerry and made his final TV appearance on The Masked Singer last year. Steve Wilkos, host of The Steve Wilkos Show, paid tribute to his colleague with an exclusive statement to Access, saying, quote, other than my father, Jerry was the most influential man in my life. Everything I have today, I owe to Jerry. He was the smartest, most generous, kindest person I've ever known. My wife and I are devastated. We will miss him terribly. Prior to his television career, Springer pursued politics and was elected mayor of Cincinnati in 1977. He previously ran for U.S. Congress. Access Hollywood spoke with the media legend in 2020, and he revealed the strangest place he ever heard the chant his talk show made famous.
Where's the strangest place you've ever heard the Jerry chant?
Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. I was at a Giants game, big stadium. Yeah. I go into the restroom there. And as you step up to the urinal, 500 guys are chanting when I'm trying to go to the bathroom. And at my age, I have enough pressure.
Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. New tonight from the county of Fresno, a groundbreaking was held this morning for the new Guardian Village. Here's more. The Guardian Village is set to open in 2024 in Reedley.
MyTV 53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
Experience the difference with Austin Reed and the San Joaquin Valley's only true primetime news.
Welcome back, everybody. So many rivers are being closed off due to our severe weather, but tonight, reporter Allie Soper takes a look at the Kern River.
It's important now more than ever to stay safe in and around the Kern River. With historic water levels due to early spring storms, this upcoming season spent around one of Kern County's most beautiful resources will be especially dangerous.
Best thing to do this year is to stay out of the river. We do have a lot of snowpack that's melting, and we had a lot of rain this year, so the river is running higher and faster, and it is very dangerous. We're patrolling as usual, and we are spending extra time along the river talking to families and encouraging them to stay out. If they must get into the river, I'd say wear a life vest or a personal flotation device. I'd advise you to stay 3 to 4 feet away from the river's edge. because what happens is when the river is moving hard and fast, it takes out the inside of the shoreline and it can collapse, and you can potentially fall in the river if you stand too close.
If you're planning to get in the Kern River, always wear a securely fit life jacket and make sure to go with a guided team. If you're unsure of where the fast-moving waters lie, the best way to stay safe around the Kern River is to stay out.
That was Ali Soper reporting. We'll have updates for you tomorrow night starting at 8 on the river situations all across the San Joaquin Valley. Coming up, an employee with the city of Fresno for more than 13 years is in the spotlight tonight. We Work For You is next. Finally tonight, an employee with the city of Fresno for more than 13 years, Richard Stoliker, is an irrigation specialist who installs and repairs irrigation across 30 square miles of the city. It's a dirty job, but Richard says he loves it and always has a smile on his face. He says he's proud when his work results in beautiful flowers, plants, and trees across Fresno. Here's more from the series We Are Fresno, finally tonight.
Richard Stoliker, and job title irrigation specialist. It consists of the irrigation timers, irrigation valves, the lateral lines, and sprinkler systems, making sure everything's worked, nothing's broke, everything stays green, anything that has to do with irrigation. Good morning. It's a new brewery that they want to put in a outdoor patio, so I have to move all of our irrigation. It never stops. It don't slow down. To me, it's just simple. It's fun. Once I start doing it, it's like, I like doing this. And this is where I want to be at. Makes me feel good, and it makes everything look good. I'm proud of what I do.
Well, let's get a final look at your forecast from Fresno to Bakersfield. We are tracking severe weather. We're not talking about extreme temperatures. Highs in the 90s, upper 90s starting tomorrow through the weekend. The biggest concern, obviously, is that snow melt. So we'll have an update on your forecast again tomorrow night on the news at 8. Stay cool, everybody. That's going to do it for the news on this Thursday. I'm Austin Reed. Hoping your news is good news. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you again tomorrow for Friday. Bye-bye.